jobs are dependent on you living in scarcity. Even the news, things around you, the news which you're consuming online is dependent on you being in a scarcity mindset or being over reliant on heuristics such as negative bias. I started to look into my own life and reevaluate my own circumstances because recently something traumatic kind of happened at my something traumatic happened at my job, and how my job handled it really stamped in place that jobs really don't care about your safety or care about your well-being. A lot of times they care about profit, and that's the center, right? Not you. And like I knew this fact, but like coming to this hard fact and like experiencing it, it was really kind of like mind shifted. And like I actually was like, all right, these people are on the internet are telling the truth. These jobs do not care about you. I started to look inward as well and thinking like, all right, this is not the first time that a situation like this has happened, and what really like led me to this. And as somebody who is a psychology major, someone who's currently taking social psychology classes and learning about negativity bias, I started to see ways that hit has drifted itself in my life. And keep in mind, we're human. It's just one of our heuristics. We fall prey to negativity bias. I also started looking around the internet, looking at Instagram, TikTok, everything. And a lot of times what is being fed to us and what gets most of the views is some things that can pull on our negative reactions, our negative emotions, such as rage, sadness, or like, when I say negative, I don't mean like these things are bad, even though I know negative does mean bad. But at the same time, like those are the opposite of quote unquote positive emotions. A lot of time get more views, they're pushed more, rage bait, the world is gonna end bait, rapture talk, they get pushed more than somebody generally saying that, oh, they had a good day or life is good or hope and things like that. They don't get pushed. And a lot of times the comment sections even feed into like, this is not realistic, why are you pushing this, right? And me looking at my life, me being in this job, being unhappy, and noticing how was negativity bias seeping in. And was I focused? The reason why I was not letting go of this job was it because of negativity bias, which is basically, negativity bias is basically like looking at all the things that could go wrong or being attracted to more negative things than positive things. Was this negativity bias that we humans are prone to? Was it leaking to why I had such a scarcity mindset, even though I knew this job was not good for me, it was not safe for me? Was it because I thought, oh gosh, can I never get another job? If this happens, everything is gonna go wrong. Da 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 da. Even though I've set up myself for success in a sense, like I always have, I have an emergency fund, I have plans, but I could not let it go because I thought everything was going to go wrong if I let it go. I just wanted to prompt you to also think, is there certain things in your life that you're holding on because you think that the worst could happen instead of thinking the opposite, that something positive would happen? What if everything is not going to go bad, but what if things actually work out well? And as somebody who is starting to grow into my faith, I have, and even if you're not Christian, as someone who's trying to grow into our faith, grow into my faith, and understanding life, understanding how fleeting life is, how short life is, even though like we're like so young, it's still very short, and I want to be very intentional. I wanted to really think, do I want to spend my time thinking about how horrible things are, and instead shift my focus on how positive things could be? And yeah, I cringe myself out even now saying it. Negativity bias also seeps into another concept in psychology called like our focus on loss. It's a better name than that, but our focus on loss. Like we are more, when we're playing a game, right? We're more thinking about like survival than winning. In a sense, we're thinking about not to lose than thinking about what's there to gain. And I want to prompt you as somebody who is now rewiring my brain to think positively, I tell you guys also to think positively. And I know it's so cringy, but what if things actually work out? What if you taking actions, going after your dreams, what if it actually works out? Even though social media likes to push the most negative outcomes, what if a positive outcome happens? And understanding even attention, focus. When we're more focused on negative things, it's just like, for example, you want a pair of red shoes. My friend, she wants red shoes right now, these flats, so it's in my head. But you want these flats, right? And that's all you want right now. You're gonna, everywhere you go, you're gonna see those red flats. Every corner, you're gonna see those red flats. You're gonna pinpoint out the red flats because that's what you're focused on. That's what you want. That's what you're kind of manifesting in a sense, right? So that's all your focus is going to be. And I feel like that it's the same with negativity and it's the same with scarcity. When you're focused on scarcity, a lack thereof, everything you're gonna notice is gonna reflect that. You're gonna be thinking of lack. You're gonna be thinking of scarcity. You're gonna be looking for the scarcity and lack in your life instead of the gain and beauty that's within your life. And even with the concept of confirmation bias, which is basically us going and looking for information that confirms our beliefs, our feelings, right? Which is completely valid. We want to have a sense of community. We want to feel secure. We want to feel validated. But a lot of times that's harmful. And I fell prey to that. When feeling like my job was shitty, instead of like pivoting and looking for solutions, I immediately went to YouTube and looked out for videos that were people talking about their shitty jobs. And that just made me overinflate my situation and focus on only the shittiness instead of focusing on how I could pivot. And I want to ask that question to you. Is there ways that you are so focused on scarcity, so focused on lack, that you are just concentrating, putting your attention all in that you're losing what's out there, what could be positive out there? And I even think about the political climate right now. Under our current president, how a lot of negative things are happening, but seeing how much positive things are happening, not under his administration, because that shit is shitty, but instead of how people are coming together and forming community and advocating and demonstrating, I can't remember the word, but like coming together and forming movements, how powerful that has become. And even thinking about recent boycotts, which I think people have stopped, but I'm not gonna recent boycotts, right? How successful those were when people actually came together. And I feel like even though this situation with the government is terrible, it has opened a lot of people's eyes to what is actually happening, and also allowed some groups of people to reevaluate their biases, their racism, and be like, me voting for this person, or even their homophobia, being like, oh gosh, did I let my homophobia lead me to vote for this person? So all of this to say, there's always some form of beauty. There's always some form of gain. There's always some sunshine somewhere. Even in the darkness, there's always something. Think about space. That shit is black and dark, but there is always some light somewhere. All right? There's always some light. And a little bit of refocusing, reframing your mind could help you. And I'm not saying that it's going to change everything, because I'm not prompting you to quit your job or do something drastic. I always say to plan, and that's why I have planned. But even though I planned and had a secured landing, I still was moving in scarcity. And that's what I wanted to say. Probably even you, though you have planned, you have community and all of that, you're probably still focusing on the negative aspects of life, focusing on what other people have, instead of focusing on what you have and how you can utilize that. What skills do you have? And as I said, time is fleeting. Life is short. Do you want to be folk on a low mode? Like, do you want to be low all the time? Or would you want to have a leap of faith and something positive and beautiful can come out of that? And I'm telling you, it's even hard for me to say these words because I'm not used to it. And I know probably there's someone out there that's not used to it. Somebody who probably has experienced poverty or living in a third world country and things of that nature where all you see is lack. And even now, when you're in somewhere a little bit safe, a little bit more secure, you still feel that scarcity. You still feel that fight and flight. But all I'm going to say is take a deep breath and refocus. Reframe your thinking. And when planning, do not plan focus on loss. Plan focused on gains. What can you gain? What positive things can happen from this? This is an unstructured video, but I just wanted to get my thoughts out there. And I just wanted to take a leap of faith. So yeah, I hope you enjoy this video. Please like, subscribe, and share this video because you don't know. Somebody else could be experiencing this even though you are not experiencing this. So bye.